What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so LeBron James had a message to the NBA this week, and that message is to his peers, to fans, and critics alike, like me. Fuck what you heard, but peep what you see. None of these pretenders can fuck with me. LeBron James has had a very good stretch since the All-Star break, man, and with these signature performances against the Bucks and the Lakers, and the Clippers, um, you have to say that he's in the conversation now when it comes to MVP. I'm not delusional like Nick Wright. I got to say something about Nick Wright, man. I just had the wherewithal. I said to myself, and this was like with 2 minutes to go in the game, right? The game ain't even over with yet. I said, let me look at Nick Wright's Twitter. This motherfucker's all over Twitter, writing all these fucking paragraphs with statistical analysis and fucking, scientific formulas and, I hate this dude so fucking much, man. I see the picture of him. I shouldn't even be saying this shit, man, but I shouldn't say it, man, but you know that his girl probably be fucking his nose, right? You know, such a fucking cuckold fuck, man. But he's fucking all over there. Yes, well, LeBron thoroughly outplayed LeBron thoroughly outplayed this week Giannis, and he thoroughly outplayed Kawhi Leonard. He's carrying his team. He's far away the best player in the league still. Year 17, leading the NBA in assists. He's far away the best player in the league and the greatest player ever. Oh my God, man. I hate this motherfucker so much, man. It makes it seem like it's LeBron playing against everybody by himself. He beat the Bucks by himself. He beat the Clippers by himself. That's what irritates people, you know what I'm saying? When guys like him and Shannon Sharp, Colin Cowherd to a slightly lesser extent, Chris Broussard, you know, guys like that and others, they don't give other players credit. They only sit up there and give the credit to one fucking guy every fucking time. And that's what gets so fucking annoying. And that's why most of the people who follow me, there's some people that'll say, why don't you cool it with all this media stuff? But at the end of the day, most people who follow my channel know what I'm talking about. It's annoying. They already know in their minds, I'm not going to watch ESPN or Fox Sports tomorrow because it's going to be sickening. And this is why. LeBron had a good game. Don't get me wrong. He had a really good game. I think he had 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. Okay? But what's not going to be mentioned is Avery Bradley with a season high 24 points. Okay, he was huge tonight. Avery Bradley. He brought it tonight. Okay, Kyle Kuzma, who's not really fitting well in the offense, but he still had an impact on his game with 10 rebounds and his defense, right? Anthony Davis, 30 points. Okay, the other night against the Bucks in the second half, Davis scored 24 points in the second half of the game. But all you hear in the media, is LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. It's fucking annoying. Okay, now for the Clippers, Paul George at 31, Kawhi at 27. Okay, but Kawhi's 27 were not impactful points. Okay, they weren't impactful, and they didn't really have the same overall. Like, you got a sense that Kawhi's points or his buckets really didn't have the same effect on the overall game it didn't come in critical junctures the same way that LeBron's did. You know what I'm saying? In large stretches of the game, Kawhi was missing. He was ineffective. He was having difficulty, I noticed, with the Lakers defense as far as uh, being able to get open. He didn't have the ease that he had the first couple of games, especially I think the Christmas Day game. You know, he was having a little bit more trouble, more resistance as far as getting his shot off. He didn't shoot well from outside. Um, Montrezl Harrell played okay. Well, actually, Montrezl Harrell played well. I think he had 20 something points. Okay, but Morris didn't show up. Did nothing. 1 point. Morris, in fact, has not shot well since he's joined the Clippers via the trade. Uh, you know, um, Lou Williams did not do much at all. All right, so the Clippers overall just did not play very well, man. You gotta give credit to the Lakers. The Clippers overall shot 40% from the floor. The Lakers 45%. Neither team was extraordinarily hot from downtown, but the Clippers were especially woeful, 7 of 31. Uh, the Clippers got to the foul line a little bit more, but they missed some critical free throws. Um, the difference in the game too was the playmaking for the Lakers. All right, you really saw with the Clippers a lot of ISO. And while Paul George was magnificent in the first half, Paul George did not get the ball in the second half of the game. And this is one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about with the Clippers. And it's this. I haven't seen as many Clipper games as some of you have. You guys probably have, okay? So I could be incorrect in this. But it does seem to me that it does seem like that there's some chemistry problems with Kawhi and Paul. Like they rarely seem to play well at the same time. It's either one gets going and the other one offensively disappears, or the other one gets off, but the other one disappears. And they need to find a rhythm. They need to find a way for both of these guys to be able to get going at the same time. There's a lot of scorers out there on the court. You have Lou Williams, you got Paul George, you got Kawhi Leonard. Neither one of them necessarily, at least with Paul George and Kawhi, they don't necessarily have the ball in their hands at all times to get it going offensively. But they don't seem like they play well um, at the same time most of the time. It's like one guy might have 35, the other guy might have 17, but he might shoot 6 for 18 or something. Uh, Especially with Paul George, he's been a lot more inconsistent than Kawhi. So that's one thing that concerns me with the Clippers. So props to the Lakers, man. They won. All right, they finally beat the Clippers. They shut up that narrative about them being unable to beat the Clippers. They shut it up. They do play again in April. So the Lakers could tie the series up, or the Clippers could get that as a revenge going into the playoffs and have an overwhelming 3 games to 1 lead in the regular season, just be for a psychological benefit. Um, Now, as far as MVP talk, yeah, this adds to LeBron being in the conversation. And I have a feeling that since the Bucks are probably not going to win 70 games, and as magnificent as Giannis has been playing, the storylines do matter. LeBron is 35 years old. Okay, he's in his 17th NBA season. There's never been an NBA player, to my recollection, to have won an MVP award that late in his career. Okay. Storyline wise, I'm starting to think that they're going to give it to LeBron. I know the LeBron haters that sub to me don't want to hear that shit, but I think they're going to do it. Okay, because one thing you got to remember, some of these people who we hate on television, the LeBron media, right? Some of these motherfuckers have votes. And some of them can influence people who have votes, who don't have votes, right? The ones who don't have votes on TV, they can influence people who do have votes when it comes to the MVP of the NBA. If I remember correctly, the oldest ever league MVP is Karl Malone. I believe he was 30. I believe he was 35, going on 36 when he won the MVP in 1999. I think he turned 36 during the off season. So he's the oldest. So he still would be the oldest, but Karl Malone, being the fact he went to college, I think Malone was in his 14th season. Michael Jordan, of course, was in his 13th season and had just turned 35 when he won the MVP. So LeBron would be older than Mike. He would match Mike with his fifth MVP, and he would be the most uh, longest tenured NBA player to win an MVP award, a 17th season. So I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to give LeBron the MVP, man. I'm really thinking they're going to do it. It's too titillating a storyline. All right, and then you got to look at it like this. A year ago, some of us were even questioning whether LeBron would be able to play at this level again after the injury. LeBron looked old. He looked slow. He didn't look like himself. And some of us were questioning whether or not he would be able to play at a high level anymore. So now you have a guy that's averaging 26, about 7 and 10.5 assists, leading the NBA in assists. The oldest man, I think, not oldest, but the longest tenured player ever to lead the NBA in assists, being his 17th season. And not only being able to still play in his 17th season, but win the MVP award. Okay? These are all things that certain people in the media would just love to see. And of course, the cherry on the cake would be an NBA championship. So that's how I feel about that situation. With the Clippers, what does this mean? Um, you gotta look at it like it's just one game. You gotta look at it like it's a game. Okay, the playoffs is a whole nother situation. Okay, I'm trying to think of a comparison. I remember shit. Um, I reference this a lot. I remember during the 1989 regular season, right? 1988-89 season. The Cavaliers were good, man. They're a real good squad, man. A lot of people thought that Cleveland was going to be the team of the 90s, right? They had Brad Daugherty before the back issues. They had Mark Price, great point guard, great sharpshooter. Ron Harper, the poor man's Michael Jordan. They had Craig Elo, who was a really good defensive player. Hot Rod Williams, okay, coached by the great Lenny Wilkins. Um, they were a nice squad, okay, and They went 6-0 in the regular season against the Bulls. This is when there were fewer teams, so you went against your conference foe more than they do now, which is 4 times. They played against each other 6 times. They beat each other. They beat the Bulls 6 fucking times during the regular season, right? 6 fucking times. The last game that they played was toward the end of the season, and Cleveland didn't really have anything to play for. You know what I'm saying? They had their seeding pretty much matched, um, pretty much wrapped up. The Bulls were lower seeded, so they still had their starters playing. So in a game where Cleveland had rested their starters, they played a little bit, but then didn't play really much in the second half. The Bulls played their starters like 35, 40 minutes, including Jordan and Pippen and Horace Grant. And those guys, the Bulls still lost that fucking game. So complete total domination during the regular season. Coming into that first round series, they played against each other. And all of the experts, the so-called experts, picked Cleveland to win that series. Some of them thought Cleveland was going to sweep it. This is when it was still best of 5. And that's the series that we all know as went down to the shot. When Jordan hit that game winner at the buzzer, which stunned Cleveland, and it turned around both teams' fortunes. The Bulls started to rise. Cleveland was still a good team, but the expectations for that team floundered. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying this for any a Clipper fan out there that's like, man, fuck, we lost. Hey, the Bulls were 0-6 that regular season. The playoffs is a whole different beast. Tell me what you guys think.